Hey, Mike here, that's Chasing Bourbon 987. Today we have a special Thanksgiving blind. So what else to blind than wild turkey in honor of Thanksgiving? So we have a little selection of wild turkey. We're gonna blind it, we're gonna give it our thoughts, we're gonna rank it. Maybe we'll even embarrass ourselves and try to guess which one is which. So on the blind today, we have a not so common and very rare export only wild turkey 12 year. This one is at least 7, 8, 10 years old. This was a Japanese export. We have the more shelf stable long branch, the very common and popular rare breed, the mainstay of the company, the Wild Turkey 101, and then to add a little more class to this blind, a wild turkey product, a Russell's Reserve 2025 release 13-year-old. So let's try to find somebody who will blind it for us, and then we'll come back and start the review. Okay, so we're fortunate enough to get Turkey to give us a hand and pour us our blinds. So like I said, this is a wild turkey blinds, even though one of these are Russell's, comes from the wild turkey family. They all have the same mash bill. It's going to be a 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. All of these coming in with various age statements, with various prices, but they all should be working off the original same juice. Okay, so let's get a little more detail about what we're going to be blinding today. Again, all wild turkey products. So first we have the long branch. So the long branch comes in with a proof of 86 and an MSRP of around $35 to $40. This is one of Wild Turkey's everyday items. Next, we have the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. So this is one of Wild Turkey's hidden gems. This is a very affordable $60 bottle that comes in at 116.8 proof. A favorite to many of the Wild Turkey friends and family. Next, we have the Wild Turkey 101, which comes in at, don't be surprised, 101 proof. With an MSRP of around $30-ish. Now we're getting into some of the more fancier stuff. Next, we have the 2025 release of the Russell's Reserve 13, and this has a proof of 114.8 with a expensive MSRP of around $200. And lastly, the not so common. This is an export only. This one was sort of picked up a while back. This is the same juice. It's a 101 Wild Turkey with a 12-year age statement. There really is no MSRP. I mean, you can't find it, so because it's a Japanese export. You could usually find it online for around $200. It's the Wild Turkey 101, which is the 12-year age statement, and like I said, it's a Japanese export. You can see all that fancy writing on the back. All right. So let's begin the review. So we have a nice selection here of a real high-end premium product, some very common bottom shelf products that you could see in every liquor store you go into, and a little bit of a rare one, which again is literally just the 101 with some age statement. We're just gonna run through these real quick. So we're going from my right to left, which camera will be left to right. So we have green, red. I'll put up on the camera which is which. Again, this was poured blind. The camera person did it. So you could go along and see which is which as we're going with it. Even though I have no idea, I will reveal at the end, or I'll be given, well, my cards at the end and see if we know. That one smells a little hot. So again, with all these being of over 100 proof, the Russell's being, what was that, 116, the rare breed also being higher, and then the long branch being lower, the proof alone should help us maybe in our product identification. Okay, so we just did a quick one. So yeah, now let's start the review. So first we'll go green, like I said, and we'll insert all the information as to which is which. So green, it's non-script, non-fruit. I mean, wild turkey is not known for its fruit. Little cinnamon, a little brown sugar. This red one has a lot of leather. I mean, like a lot of leather. Guess we're gonna call that clear. It's a nice combination of the two. Some leather, a lot of cinnamon, allspice, a lot of allspice in that one. Black. The first one I'm actually picking up a little bit of fruit. Cinnamon also. And finally gold. Give me a little confusing. This on the nose it seems to be one of the hotter ones, but again it's pretty nondescript, just maybe a little cinnamon and some also leather. All right, so let's begin the review. So we're gonna go right to left, reset our palette and go left to right. So we'll start with green. So this one has a little heat to it. Fruits are citrusy, some leather, some spice, some sweetness. Not bad. Next we'll do red. This one's drinking a lot softer. It's also citrusy. Sugars are very white, very generic. Not too much of that proof point on that one. So we'll do clear. This one on the nose had a lot of heat. Drinks a little warm. Again, these you could tell they're all from the same home. A lot of citrus, light sugars. This isn't really, at least on first go, light sugars, not too developed. Some cinnamon, some spice, like a little ginger. Not a bad bourbon. A lot of these are definitely fitting that wild turkey profile. Next we have black. Okay, finally we have somebody who came to play. Decent amount of heat, nice spice, a lot of cinnamon. Sugars are starting to get a little darker, some brown sugars, a little bit of pepper. It's got a little red fruitiness, not like a stewed fruit or a dark fruit, almost like a bright red fruit. And finally gold. Also, it brings the heat. Fruits are maybe a little orange rind. Again, apricots, no red fruit on this one. Sugars are white, light. Just tastes more generic, just with a little more heat. Let's give ourselves a minute to reset our palates, and then we'll go my left to right and go again. Okay, so this time we'll start at gold and work our way back up. So again, this definitely has some proof to it. Apricot-y, orangey, sweet, like my first brew. It's a light sugar. It's a white sugar. There's no caramels. There's no butterscotches here. A little pepper, a little cinnamon. Nothing too. When I do my tasting, I'm gonna move them forward and back just for my own reference to help me which ones I like more, and if I have to compare back and forth, it's not the easiest way on the camera to see that. After I go through at the second time, then I'll actually rearrange the glasses in color order as to which I like more, which will help the camera more. For now, I'm just doing it for my sake, just so it helps me when I want to compare one against the other to see where I'm at. Next is black. This was one of the more promising ones on the first way through. Yeah, so this one's drinking nice and warm. This is one of the few glasses where the red fruits actually showed up. Cinnamon, some brown sugars, more traditional bourbon flavors. Reset. Okay, clear? So again, this has that oily, leathery, just total generic sugar. No spice, no nothing. All right, red. I don't know, if somebody's not playing tricks on me, it almost tastes like clear and red are almost identical. Let me get a little water here, reset. The nose is different, but the taste is almost identical. I'm going to put that clear slightly above over the red. Very, very similar flavor profiles. The apricot and citrus, the white sugars. A little bit of white pepper, no cinnamon or no brown sugars. Green is showing up a lot more now. Again, this started our thing. It's a lot of orange. Sugars are actually a little darker. A little bit of spice. Yeah. Okay, so as of now, this is how I have it. I have it as, I'm gonna go my left to right, camera's right to left, so I have it as black as my favorite. I think I might have just tanked that up and messed that all up. It'll be fun to figure it out again. So this is how we're going so far. We're going to start at the bottom and go work our way up, and then maybe go back again. Okay, so clear. Apricot, citrus, white sugar, a little bit of white pepper, and really nothing else. It has a little oily mouthfeel to it, but there's no finish. It feels viscous, although there's nothing that the flavor is bringing that matches that viscous feeling. Next is red. Less citrus, a little honey, some generic sweetness. Really no spice. Actually, I might even put that behind that. Cold. Okay, so golds. Again, I'm not getting any red fruits on this. Citrus. The flavors definitely feels hotter and proof. Definitely feels the flavors are more pronounced, more represented. The sugars maybe slightly turning darker, maybe a little spice. Yeah, so it's definitely gold. Gold belongs so far above these two. Next is green. And again, when I was moving these around, I might have totally tanked them and put them in the wrong order, but we'll straighten it out right now. Okay, green. Again, green, Nice fruits, some apricot, some citrus. With almost all these, there's no caramels, there's no butterscotches, there's no dark brown sugars, there's no stewed fruits. So far, everything seems to point to the black, which, if that's the case, I really hope it's the Russell's 13. I know this Wild Turkey 12 is like an impossible bottle to find, but at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a 101 with a few more years on it. It's nice. It's got some black pepper. None of these. Actually, let me go to black, and then let me give you some thoughts. Yeah, so this black actually tastes like it has some oak, some age. Sugars are a little darker. Flavors are much more developed. Getting a little leather, getting wood. I'd like to see in the reveal that this is at least, hopefully, the Russell's 13, or if not, at least the 12-year. None of these other ones are, except for maybe a little in the green, are screaming any kind of age, any kind of development. They all taste young. They all taste like flat. They all taste thin. They all taste, like I said, the sugars just taste like non-generic corn syrup, white sugar. Nothing has that developed flavor, which I'm pretty shocked, because even for a Wild Turkey 12-year, I would think it was gonna give the Russells its run for its money. Granted, I mean, you're dealing with a difference of 15 proof points, and that's me still assuming this black is going to be the Russell's 13, which you'll probably totally embarrass myself, and it'll be the 86 proof Long Branch. And so much for that one. But let's go back one more time and see if this is where it's going to stand. Then we'll make a couple of guesses. Then we'll do a reveal and see how we do. Okay, so at the bottom was the red. Again, back and forth, I'm picking up some other flavors. So maybe other stuff is showing up. Again, citrus, apricot, maybe a little vanilla now. It's coming there. Totally unimpressive. Except for the 186 proof, for everyone else here should be over 100 proof. This one is drinking very, very, very light, very, very thin. Next, clear. So this tastes exactly like the red with 15 more proof points. So hopefully we'll be able to pick the right brands and see if it makes sense. Next, the gold. Okay. Again, coming in a little hotter. Not hotter. I mean, drinking around the 100 proof. The flavors are a little more developed. Sugars are a little fuller. I'm not going to go as far as to say dark sugars. It's just they're a little more developed. The citrus is more developed. The apricot is there. Again, it's not like a stewed deep fruit. Next, we'll do green. I'm almost going to just take a minute to think about these two again. Excuse me. So yellow actually has a slightly advantage on the nose. I'm having a tough time with this one because, again, not that any of these flavors are really standing out to me. It's just, I feel that the yellow is a higher proof, so it's punching me with those flavors a little better. I think the green has a more lower proof, but much more developed flavors. So I think I'm going to keep those two the way they are. And the black, I don't think is going to change its position as the leader. Yeah, I'm not hating that one. I'm not gonna tell you I'm loving it, but again, Wild Turkey's never been my thing. This one tastes the oldest, the more developed, the most oak, the more deeper, darker sugars. All right, so now let me totally embarrass myself and try to do a pick here. So hopefully that would be the Russell's 13. I'm struggling between these two because, like I said, the green has a more developed flavor. The yellow has a little hotter heat. Long Branch, I would hope would be red. Let's say Wild Turkey 101 would be clear. Rare Breed with the higher proof would be the yellow, but the 12-year with the more developed flavor would be green. Okay, so I'm gonna have somebody hand me my color cards here, and hopefully we don't embarrass ourselves totally and have the Russell's 12 as the red. So first, hand me the red, please, which is my least favorite. To me, it was the least developed flavor. I thought the weakest proof, so I thought it was gonna be the Long Branch, and it is the Long Branch. All right, so far we're hanging in there. Next was the clear. It had some heat. Again, also the flavors weren't something that seemed more developed, so I thought it was maybe the 101. The clear is the 101. So this is the two that worry me because, like I said, so proof-wise, the Rare Breed's got more proof. And I told you, the yellow, I was going back towards between the green and yellow just because of the flavors. I like the flavors a little more on the green. It's tasting much more developed, much more older. The yellow had some good flavors, but it was a punch. It was a lot of proof. That's why I'm thinking it was maybe that, but then we'll see. So the gold is Rare Breed. Ooh, 3 for 3. Okay, now let me, well, again, even if I mix these two up, I'm not wrong because, I mean, these are two, I mean, this one's an impossible to find bottle, so, and this one's almost an impossible to find bottle. So even if I get these two wrong, I still would look good. But let's go next with green. Green is Wild Turkey 12, yeah. Oh, which makes the black Russell 13. So again, all right. So even though Wild Turkey's not, let me take these down so you could actually see me. Let's leave them up. So even though Wild Turkey's not my favorite, you know, I'm more of a Buffalo Trace guy. I like more of the red fruits and the sweetness. It's not hard to tell when you're drinking a good bourbon. And again, Long Branch, 101. I mean, you usually find them on the bottom shelf in a liquor store for a reason. Not that they're not good bourbons, just you know, there's a lot better product out there from Wild Turkey. So that being said, let me finish off on my Russell's 13. For that being said, it's Mike at ChasingBourbon1887. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Follow us on all social media. Maybe leave a comment below. If there's some bottles you might want to see or thinking about buying, maybe drop me an email. We have an extensive library of bourbon, and maybe it'll save you a few dollars after we taste it, and you might, you know, see our reviews and thoughts on that. Cheers.
Preparada pra fuder sua safada. Vem sentando na piroca sua.